Are you curious? So are we. Are you funny? Well, we might be too. So why don't you get on in here? Place is filling up. Get a seat now. Come on in. And enjoy yourself today with the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. My name is Aubrey.
And I am Drew Clark. I would like to acknowledge you for being here today, for listening to the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. We'd like to thank you just for being here. That is all. If you wish to contribute to this podcast, there are a few ways you can do that. One of the ways is you can go online to YouTube. Give us a thumbs up or like. Empathy and Imagination. Also, you can go to patreon.com. There's a way to give monetarily there for the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. Also, you can just call in here on the show and get the number on the screen. Numbers on the screen. Call right now. Call. Folks, this podcast doesn't just run on dreams. I mean, it does run on dreams, but it doesn't just run on dreams. It also runs on support from our community members, including Zeist Digital, ZICED.net, Zeist.net. Zeist Digital can literally do anything in technology you could possibly imagine. There is no limits. There's small jobs of just setting up a printer and large jobs like designing a complex of technology and everywhere in between. ZICED.net for all your technical needs with computers and wires. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Clark Pool and Spa. If you're in the Contra Costa area and you have a pool or a hot tub that needs any kind of routine maintenance or repair, please go to clarkpoolspa.com. That's clarkpoolspa.com and check out. I'll give you a quote. It'll be super cool. Done by yours truly. Thank you, folks. Okay, I think that's our ad copy. Aubrey, are we ready to kick this baby off?
I think so.
Phone numbers on the screen right now. It goes 510-859-4173. One more time, it's 510-859-4173. Wow. Holy crap.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome
Glad
the
to
show.
be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here. So let's do the check-in, right?
I'll check in.
All right, you go.
Feeling pretty great. We just did a bike ride, and feels good to get back on the old steed. And in the nice weather. So I'm feeling really good about that. I'm recording with the Yacht Rock Band tomorrow. It's just an amateur recording sesh that we're going to do ourselves. But I'm psyched for that. Doing a lot of recording. We'll probably record later today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to be here.
Nice. I like happy. Happy's good.
That's my check-in.
That's your check-in? All right, cool. Nice job checking in there, buddy. Can you hear like a dinging noise or something?
Oh, yeah, checked in. Okay, now I'm checked in.
All right.
Whew.
I'm feeling pretty good. Also, man, it's like now second week in a row. We've done the bike ride before the podcast. I feel that's a good move for many junctures. I feel like it prepares us for the bike order warriors as well as like putting us in a good state of mind for the podcast.
It's a good system.
Mm-hmm. But with the, yeah, it is. It feels good. It's easy to do.
Mm.
It's fun going way faster than most people up hills. That's really fun. Doesn't that feel weird? I mean, to me, that felt really good. We're just riding up Pomona, going over the bridge real quick. No big deal. And there was a bunch of people out there cycling, and they were older, but we were going like a lot faster than they were. And that for some just
up
felt
that hill.
Good. Yeah. I don't know what is.
Felt good, not in a competitive way.
It's not competition. It's like it's like my competition. I'm like, oh, I'm going faster.
Right.
I'm trying to go fast because I'm training right now for a longer ride, like so I can push harder.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not going that long today,
And we did good time on the last hill too. The
Yeah.
JNL, second to last sort of hill, the JNL Market Hill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Usually, a lot of times, like I'll stop on that hill, or I'll walk some ways of that. So it felt good to not do that. I was just like, I'm going to power through it, man.
Just kick its ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got helicopters visiting us outside.
Yeah. I don't know if the audience can hear that. But yeah, so that feels good. I feel good about the farm, and later I have a garden update in video form for everyone. And yeah, it's really busy at work. And that's a good feeling, but it's also stressful. Like Clark Pool and Spa, getting a lot of calls. A lot of people have broken stuff right now and are wanting service.
Because summertime's rolling around and they're checking their tubs and.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing a lot of green pool cleanup, and I just replaced a pump for somebody. And then we tried to vacuum their pool, but their filter blew, so it's like meh, meh.
Huh.
Well, the helicopter really sounds like it's like over the house. I don't know if you guys can hear that at home, but it's pretty intense here. Anyway, yeah, so my check-in is we had a brew day last night also. That was super cool. And we're drinking the Pliny the Elder clone we brewed on 420. That's what this is. So cheers to that, friend.
Who, how many people were there last night?
Last night it was just the three of us. Kind of the core gang. Jim Lubinsky, Chris, I don't know his last name, and myself. It was good. We brewed a Citra clone on a Citra Pale Ale thing, just kind of a thing, a very basic kit, but it was all grain this time because we did it on my brand new Robo Brew.
Okay.
Shout out to Mom. She was on the show a couple years ago. Shout
Yes.
out to Donna Evans for, I would say, nearly one of the coolest gifts I've ever received in the machine format from my mom so far has been the Robo Brew, third generation. I've been wanting
Now,
a
what is
machine
that
like
exactly?
this. This machine it's basically a hot tub in tiny format is what it is.
For beer.
Mm-hmm.
Hot
So
tub
there's
for
there's a grain pipe, which really means that there's the main boiler has an internal thing and a false bottom. So when the grains are in there, but then you pull them out and you twist it, and there's these little feet, and it sits over the first pot. So you have the mash and the boil in the same vessel. So the sparge has to come from an external water source, but that's you just heat up a kettle over the stove, pour it over that, and then everything. It's all into one thing. So cleanup is like half the time or less. It's self-sanitizing because everything's boiling, going through the thing.
Right.
And we used a chiller. Pretty cool. It comes with a chiller. So it's this coil of stainless steel, and we dip that in a bowl of ice and run the beer through it, and then it goes back in, and then we're measuring it. And once it reaches a certain temperature, we just point that at the carboy.
Huh.
There's like so many less steps.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not like having another person come over to help you.
and you're like
lift
lifting
the
up
bucket.
a bit, yeah,
and
hold this up and all that. It's like there's a fucking pump, man. And pump goes wherever you want it to go.
That's great.
So we had a joyous occasion, and if I actually did film the unboxing, it's not edited yet. I might show a second or two of that on the podcast, but today a little teaser,
Little teaser there.
yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, been making music too, obviously with you, and then in Nilotep we have that song that's we're trying to get it mixed. I think we got like a date on it getting mixed like next week, I think. So hopefully that occurs, and we'll get it out here and play that baby. You're gonna drop that on the world. It's gonna be good.
You guys have any gigs lined up?
Do I have any gigs lined up?
Nilotep?
No, Nilotep doesn't have any gigs lined up because it's really at the
Kind of a
moment
studio
it's a
band?
studio thing. Because we did that single, just the two of us in here, and I think we're gonna do that again relatively soon because we've got other
Yeah.
stuff in the pipes,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good. There's life in the garden, and my wife's got morning sickness a lot. She's basically feels nauseous most of the time. She's like racing to find this equilibrium of not being too hungry and not being too full, because when she gets hungry she gets nauseous, and when she eats too much it makes her nauseous. So it's like she's like eating small meals all the time. And that makes sense because the baby, when it comes out, cries every 2 hours
Yeah.
for food. So it's like basically she's being pushed onto the baby
She's
cycle.
proxy for the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh, where's it? Where's it? Where is he?
Check.
Check. Sounds like it. Okay, yeah. So that's my check-in. I'm feeling good.
If it checked in?
Yeah.
Checked in.
Checked in. All right, man. So, here on the podcast for Empathy to Imagination, we like to invite ideas. We like to think about alternative schemes. I like to question stuff, you know. I like to hear stories, too. I know that sometimes you have stories. I don't know if you haven't told a story in a while. I'm curious if that's a possibility. If you have any written work. I'm trying to just get you on the spot right here. Other than that,
stories.
Other than that, I do have a couple of topics. Did you have a thought?
I'd like to hear a topic.
Okay, let's fucking hear a topic. So this may just need to become a regular segment on the show. I'm not quite sure how to work it out yet, but we're just going to do it today. And there's a car I'd like to talk to you guys about.
Car talk.
Yeah, car talk. We get a noise, maybe?
I wish I had like a revving sound. How about...
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Start your engines.
Okay. The Workhorse W15.
Where have I heard this before?
I don't know.
Have you talked about
Where
this?
have you heard it?
Is this like a truck
Yes.
that has everything?
Yes. Dude.
Maybe I looked this up independently.
There's now it's a full-size quad cab pickup truck. I got it here in the image. People can see it. Well, they can. If I aim the camera at it, they might be able to see it a little better. Oh, that's probably better. Yeah. Is it better? Yeah. Totally better. Everything's fine. No, don't do that. Okay. Hey, cool. Okay. The Workhorse W15.
Okay.
It looks like a Dodge or Toyota full-size pickup truck quad cab. It's got the dual doors. This and the version they actually make will be a little bit more spacious in the back here. It'll be a smidge longer. It's because this is pretty scampy. It's an electric four-wheel drive pickup truck that has an 80-mile all-electric range, and it has a generator that charges the battery at a 32 miles per gallon ratio in the city. And in one tank, it's a 400-mile range. So you have 80 miles of all-electric, and then with the generator, you have 310 more. And
it's pretty badass.
The ratio, even if the gas it's burning, it's getting way better mileage than anything you'd get.
Oh, I see. Even when it burns gas, it's more efficient.
Way more efficient.
Who makes this?
It's called Workhorse. It's like a new company. This is electric pickup truck for extended range. So like they're designing this for fleets like PG&E and shit. So basically, this is pretty cool, and it's out before Tesla and everyone else.
Yeah, I thought Tesla would have a pickup truck by now.
Seriously, I've been like, Tesla, come on, give us something affordable that people like me could make sense. Because I put like 80, 85, 90 bucks every time I fill up my truck, and it's like it happens like every 7 or 8 days.
What's the tank? 25 gallons or something?
No, it's like 23, 22.
So $100 a week, kind of. Almost $100 a week. Almost.
It's not quite. It's like $90 a week. Sometimes it's like 80. So let's call it $90 a week.
So $360 a month.
You add oil changes on, and you added like breakdown, all the breakdowns engines have, and what that costs over time, and then brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Into a truck payment.
Right.
For something that you don't buy gas for. Like 80 miles, I could do my route. I wouldn't even touch the tank.
So you wouldn't really be using gas
at all.
Because you'd just get home and recharge it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd pay a little bit. Your electricity would go up.
Yeah, but we have utilities included.
Oh, well, you're set.
So we've got an image here. Range extender, internal combustion engine, all-wheel drive, front and rear motors, a Panasonic 18650 low lithium-ion battery, independent rear suspension. Yeah, it's an American. Okay, so Workhorse is an American technology company focused on providing sustainable, cost-effective solutions to the commercial transportation sector.
Mm.
The W15 chassis sets a new technology standard for fleet vehicle tech. Designed with input from fleets, the W15 is powered by a Panasonic Li-ion battery pack, delivering 80 miles of electric range. Gasoline range extender offers additional range of high-efficiency driving. With the W15 comes equipped with an external 7.2 kilowatt power outlet, providing up to 30 amps directly from the vehicle battery pack. So what that means is this is now all your power batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you can run your tools off of your work truck all the time as you go. And it just powers them off when it's off.
That's pretty badass.
It's pretty ergonomically designed. It's got a digital dash and touchscreen controls. It's obviously pretty modern. The power export, it's like a 30 amp. You just plug in like an RV outlet into this thing and run an RV off of it.
Wow. Is this their first product?
No, it's not their first product. I don't know what their first product is. Maybe you could check that out. That's a great question. So here's some specs. And this is, of course, fun. So 460 horsepower is the translation. And remember, that's all the wheels to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really fast. 0 to 60, guess.
10 seconds.
5.5 seconds.
Wow.
So it drives like a Camaro sort of. All electric range, 80 miles. 310 miles per fuel tank.
And a 6-foot cab.
Uh-huh.
And
6-foot bed.
6-foot bed and a extended cab.
Mm-hmm. It's 12 inches of ground clearance. It weighs 7,200 pounds. You can put 2,200 pounds in the bed, and you can tow 5,000 pounds. There's seating for 5 people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 7.2 kilowatt battery.
What's the damage on this thing?
$52,500. Now,
that's pretty cheap.
It's really cheap, considering that's what you pay for a modern truck anyway. That's like not more expensive than like buying a GM, diesel Sierra quad cab. It's going to cost more than that. $52,500. I was like doing the math. How long are auto loans? I don't know, 9 years sometimes. It comes out to about $400 a month. So it's like
crunch the numbers on how much you save on gas.
You basically, if I had traded my truck in, I would, and had the payments for it, we'd be saving money immediately.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
The car segment, car talk.
I think that the truck payment would be less than wear and tear, gas, oil changes, all that. I think it would actually be less than all that at that price point. And this is an exciting point in like American history. This is like, okay,
independent car
we're
manufacturers.
Like, everyone needs this. Everyone wants a quad cab full size pickup that's electric. Everybody. So let's do it. Why not? Because the batteries aren't big enough. It won't go anywhere. Well, you got to give it a generator for now. Okay, fine. Because then you can go camping in it.
Yeah.
It's like a normal thing.
It looks like Workhorse Group's been around since 1998.
Holy crap.
They have an escort bus. I think they make some buses. They have a camper.
Camper?
Looks like it.
Let me see this camper.
Let's see. It just says Workhorse. I think it's one of their earlier models. Or some kind of vending truck.
God.
A vending truck or camper, RV, something.
Whoop.
I guess it's whatever you want it to be. It's just a workhorse.
Well, like,
whatever work you need doing, there it is.
Huh. That's not what I expected. Okay.
It looks like an older model, doesn't it? Maybe
It looks
that's
like
just
a piece
the
of crap.
maybe that's just the detailing. pink and brown. And then buses.
Okay. So they've been around for a while. Okay, that looks more normal. Looks like an 80s bus.
That would be awesome to have for
The Burn
Man. And in November 2016, Workhorse announced that they were working on an electrically powered pickup truck called the W15. North Carolina's Energy, Department of Energy, whatever, Duke Energy, has stated that it will buy 500 of the vehicles. So yeah, they're selling to the utility market.
Dude, don't you want one?
Yeah. That'd be awesome. With a camper shell?
Yeah, with a camper shell. Or even a cab over camper. Or the Earth Roamers. Oh yeah, I have to pull this up.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. We talked about it before, but I'll pull it up. Earth Roamer. Yeah.
So like an all-purpose, all-terrain, micro bladder.
It's like quad wheel drive. Yeah, here I'm gonna get some images. So this here, Earth Roamer. Okay, so this is the hugest one they've ever made. Like that's like freaking enormous. They aren't normally that big. That's pretty cool. But it's usually more like this is more what I've like used to. So these things are really, really amazing. They are solar powered, and it powers a fridge that they have and a conduction cooker, all based on the solar and batteries that it carries. Obviously, there's like all kinds of travel and lift in the suspension. I mean, you can got this bar, you can crash into stuff. I mean, it's obviously very comfortable. King size bed, and then there's like a 42-inch screen, and it's like basically very comfortable on the inside. I wonder if there's I got a few images of the inside too. It's just really, really cool. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So you got you're like your dinette here. It's basically good for a couple and a kid. That'd probably be about it to do like extended trips more than a week. It's got this induction cooker. That's just the one. Runs off the batteries from the solar. You got the sink. You got these cool backsplashes here. You got all this stuff built in. Back here is the bathroom with a shower. But see here, okay, so here's the front. Induction here. You got the king size bed over top the driving cabin. You can get in through here. Look at that. Look at this fridge. It's huge. It's like freezer and fridge. Got the Crowave, or maybe that's the oven. All in this sick ass cab over. So I wonder if they're going to show the. Oh, okay. So they have the swing out kitchen mode, where it unclicks from the back and it folds out, and then you have this big outdoor kitchen with multiple burners, cutting boards, counter space, all this stuff, and it just twists out. And obviously, the spare is set in right here. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to show images of the turlet.
How much is an Earth Roamer?
$350,000 would be what it cost a few years ago for the cheapest one. But now they have one that is, look at that, it's like crazy bigger, like way bigger.
It just has everything.
And it's like an
Self-contained.
F550. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Galleries. Look at this friggin' thing. That's almost too big. That's like you're out of the nimble game, because the other ones you can really four-wheel, and you can go anywhere. Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm used to. The Earth Roamer I'm talking about. It's kind of still a standard quad cab truck, full size, like F350 or something, but they put the suspension in the bar and the lights. I want to show the bathroom. Oh, okay, here's the wet bath. That's what I'm talking about. You can kind of see it here. So you got it's a shoilet, and there's external access.
You just close the toilet lid, and it's the whole room is basically
a shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
dude, you could live in this thing and go anywhere if times were tough, right? And what if you put that
post-apocalyptic
cab
machine,
on top of the Workhorse 15?
Oh, right.
And then solar panels recharged also because it's batteries.
So it's just a cab? I mean,
no,
it's just
they build the whole thing. Earth Roamer, but I would say no. Sell me just the top part.
Okay.
And I want to put it onto this,
Right.
and then hook up the solar to the truck batteries too. Obviously,
Right. That's, yeah.
all you need,
Could roam the earth.
dude. All you need then is you need a hydro generator, which you could run on solar or wind. You could do.
How do you get over the oceans? I guess you just take a ferry, take a boat.
You have to wait for the ice age and then go over the Bering Land Sea.
Mm.
Yeah,
Take a northern route.
yeah. Take a
The
really
internet?
northern route.
The internet go down? No.
I think I still in the interzone. Yeah. So, all of our listeners out there, the world has been waiting for an electric pickup truck like this.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those worlds. And I think it's pretty interesting. And I think this is going to change a lot of stuff. I think a lot of power is going to shift, like abundance, ease of access. Once power is free, kind of post-scarcity talk, I really think that's going to shift a lot of the way we think about like politics and stuff. Because like what I'm describing, you take the, I might need some reverb or echo for this next part. You take like the Workhorse 15 and you put the Earth Roamer shell over it. And you got your hydro generator. Basically, you have a dehumidifier that runs off wind or solar or bicycle power. And what it does is it pulls water out of the air. And it can do this in a very low humidity. And it works pretty well. And you can drink it, and it's basically distilled water, except for the dust, it collects in the process. But I mean, if you're talking that, you're talking that's literally like the Starship Enterprise. Like that's a ship.
Yeah. It's totally self-contained. It could go anywhere.
I mean, in food production, obviously, it can store a lot of food. It's got a fridge on it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you could carry enough food, but if you can create your own water and find food as you go, or maybe hunt, a little trapping. I know
Huh.
it's like prepper wet dreams, but it's also like pretty incredible.
Yeah.
We haven't really
Prepper.
had that before.
Well, you could tow a trailer. So either on the top of the camper shell or on the top of the trailer, you have like a little garden.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can have some kind of, or maybe your trailer is a greenhouse.
There we go.
And the movement of the wheels gives you some kind of, moves some turbines inside or whatever.
I can see that.
So you have like the component. So you have the Workhorse pickup with the Earth Roamer shell, and then some kind of other trailer greenhouse
With chickens.
with chickens.
You would have like
It would be like the farm trailer.
yeah. It'd be basically like a greenhouse that was tough on wheels that had like chairs in it and stuff too. So
A towable farm.
Mhm. It's collecting its own water. It doesn't need lights because it just uses the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah, you could have a couple chickens, and you let the chickens out when you stop.
Yeah.
They can run around. They're not going anywhere. They know where they're
Stop in the middle of the outback or wherever.
Yeah. You let them. You find some bugs. Let them out. They're like pets. That's like a movie right there. It's like a post-apocalyptic movie, but a good one. I know there's a lot of post-apocalyptic movies.
It would
Some
be
are
like
good.
it would be a post-apocalyptic movie that's sort of all about the gear, like just
Yeah.
getting psyched about what kind of different gear
Yeah.
hookups you have.
Well, I mean, there's some of that in some of the great ones, what's the most famous one with
Was
the
it
gasoline?
28 Days Later? Oh, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's all about the cars
Yeah.
and the toys and
That
the weapons and
Ford
stuff,
Interceptor.
helicopters, the Interceptor. It's very geary,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the new movie. I don't know if it's geary as much as it's more theatrical.
Well, yeah, way more of an
you see
action
it?
movie. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Furry Road?
Yeah. Was it spelled wrong or something?
No, it's just funny. Fury Road. Same director, I guess, as the original. But it was like one long action sequence.
Yeah.
So it sort of
It's
had
exhausting.
its own merits, but it's not as like brainy and kind of dark and interesting as the first one or the second one, whatever. Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
That's probably the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, where you can turn the blower off,
Yeah.
which of course isn't
Yeah.
possible. I mean, you can't do that.
Yeah. The Ford Interceptor.
You're like, oh, I gotta go efficient. Pew.
Pew! I got to go into silent mode. Turn the blower off.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a few more miles per gallon now with this 500 cubic inch V8 with 1,000 cubic feet per minute of carburation. You're like, yeah, we'll turn off the blower. No big deal.
No big deal. So what else is the... I mean, to get the ideal setup, that's like $500,000.
Yeah.
The Earth Roamer. But the Workhorse itself is pretty cheap. I wonder why it's so
52.
cheap.
Because they want to sell it to a bunch of people who have small businesses and medium businesses. Just think, I mean,
All those white trucks.
all of them could be those
replaced,
silver
yeah.
trucks now. They're all silver.
It's pretty good.
Silver trucks.
And then how long does the battery last?
It doesn't say yet, like how many cycles you can expect.
Yeah, like how long does the Prius battery last?
Like 8 years.
Mm.
But the price will come down in 8 years. So it's
Yeah.
my guess is you'll have to every 8 years you have to pony up like $500 and then $300.
Yeah, something like that.
'Cause
Yeah,
at
I'm
first,
surprised
when
Tesla
Priuses-
didn't do that.
The first Prius, like the first Prius that needed a new battery, I think it was like $7,000.
Mm.
And it was like everyone was like, "Whoa, dude, are you serious?" It's like I should have just bought gas. This is
Yeah.
crazy. And what are you gonna do with that old battery? You're just gonna put it in the dirt? Wow.
Is that what they do? They just put it in a
Sometimes.
mountain somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. The I'm surprised Tesla didn't do the pickup. They have like the sports car,
They have drawings.
the minivan, the sedan, and then like
Well, it's a
the
cross. It's
the
a cr-
Mac
it's a
tru-
cross.
The Mac truck.
Oh, the Mack truck's awesome. Have you seen the drawings of the Tesla quad cab pickup truck?
No.
They look good. They might be fake, you know?
No.
But it's like, what's the deal? Come on, man. He's like, well, I'm going to Mars. And,
Yeah, maybe they just did market research and were like, this is already, Dodge has this market or whoever.
Yeah, we just gotta, let it go, maybe. Fuck. Yeah, so
Yeah, so you got to cross the oceans and get into space somehow with the Earth Roamer,
well, they have
Galaxy-
You've seen the motorhomes.
the
that
Galaxy
go-
Roamer.
You've seen the. You're right. You're on the right track. They have the motorhomes that have the hulls, and they can go in the water. You could attach that to this, right, and then keep it going.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think you would need like quadcopter. You need to get like
Oh yeah, like a
a
drone
mm-hmm.
thing that can
like drone arms. You just attach.
lift
They
fucking
can-
7 tons or whatever.
No, yeah.
Or what was it, 7,000 pounds?
7,000-pound truck, but with the camper, that's probably another 2,000 pounds. So you're it's gotta. It better be
You got
tough.
fucking Harrier jet engines on it.
I wonder
Just
if you
vertical takeoff.
if you had these engines on the wheels, have those power the blades. Would that be enough torque?
I don't know. You would need some pretty big blades.
So, I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
Traffic.
so you could do it.
See, now
That's the thing
we're talking.
is the
Now we're
technology's
talking.
all there. It just to combine it. It's so expensive to combine all that, but you could absolutely do it.
Yeah. Could you? Oh man, I can imagine that.
Basically all
that'd be
terrain.
fun. So you can fly over shit. You can boat in shit. You can drive through shit,
Yeah,
and you can live in it. And it goes, yeah,
it goes everywhere. Just the
Yeah.
only limitations are you need to find food and water.
just food. Because this, I want to put on a
You have
hydrogen
filtration?
generator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
So like, you can pull water out of the air and fill up your tank.
Oh, I see. You could also reclaim probably your wastewater.
Yeah, you could just do super filtration. There's levels. We need to clean the filters and change them. So there's levels.
There's levels. Huh. And then you could have, you go anywhere. If it had like treads, some kind of tread mode, then you could go over snow. And super rocky areas.
In some snow, you could do chains. It would work.
It's crazy that the technology is all there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of putting it all together and having someone to pay for it.
What would the first one of these that's got a hull and blades that have to fold so you can fit down the road. I mean, there's got to be some kind of
Right,
folding.
right. Just this big fucking metal block driving down the road.
So how much would it cost to put quad blades on there that could fly it safely?
I have no idea. No clue what that would
I'm
cost.
going to guess it's not going to be more than $1 million. I think $1 million we could
For the whole thing?
for just that. No, for that project.
Oh, just for that project. Yeah.
For just the blades part, the drone part, that would probably cost $1 million. But I don't think it would be more than $1 million.
Probably not. You could use like carbon fiber, this and that, and
We would need some design help. That would be probably a good bit of the money would be design assistance. Okay, how do we get something that can lift 25,000 pounds and put it on here?
right? Does anything like that exist in the military? Do they have those, like those Avatar planes with two huge?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, they use the Flying Fortress, right? That's a helicopter, biggest helicopter.
No, Flying Fortress is the B-52 bomber.
Oh, okay, there's the Navy version of that, which is the
Chinook.
is that what it is?
The
It's just
Chinook.
fucking huge.
There's dual blades on this mother, and it's like 30 feet long or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like a huge boat.
They lift up tanks,
Yeah.
but not on electric power. See, I
No,
want this to
you
be
need
electric and
gas.
solar power.
Diesel.
Yeah, there's not enough power. So it could be that the electric motors, or maybe it's a glider where like you have to build the wings like they're in a little pack. Okay, go with me here.
That would be so frightening.
Yeah.
Driving off a cliff.
So,
Here we
yeah.
go.
No, you could do it runway where it's
Yeah,
like
okay.
you have you use your electric motors to power blades going instead of vertically, horizontally. So you use some of the weight on the wing instead of having to get all that from the direct power. Maybe
Right.
that's a better route. But we are still talking about
Could be better.
10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So these wings are gonna. There's a measurement. You have to know how many,
You get
the
the
wind
wingspan.
coefficient and base weight, and how much, that you need. The wings are gonna probably need to be something like 40 or 50 feet each.
And they'll probably be like retractable.
I think there's something
'Cause you
about
gotta-
we have to build them or something.
you gotta-
Wrenches. I
You
don't
gotta,
know.
you gotta have it fit on the highway. That's the real challenge.
So I think that challenge is, there's like it's in sections that you have to disassemble. That's
Mm.
the only way it's going to work. But you drive to the airport, you pull it out the pack, you put the wrenches in, you test it, right? You pull and and then you fucking turn it on, and this thing starts going. And you can only go maybe 90 knots, 110 knots, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you had a big enough wing and enough motor and enough juice, and you get that solar clicking that whole time.
It'd be so much easier to do it with like a motorcycle-sized thing. Like
Well,
a
but
smart
you
car.
can't
Like
sleep in a
yeah, I know,
motorcycle.
I know,
I like
that's the
that.
thing.
I like that. Like you could stand up, cook a meal, store a meal,
Yeah,
sleep.
being able to stand up inside.
Yeah.
That's key.
king size bed. I think that's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I think if I was homeless, I would still sleep on a king size bed. I would just drag it with me. I'm a
So you can just be
large
spread eagle?
I'm a large person.
Fully spread eagle on the bed, touching all four corners.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm on a queen bed, it's tough. I feel like I'm balancing on it.
All right, Earth Roamer. I like it.
So yeah,
Workhorse.
things
More
like this
specifically,
excite me.
workhorse.
Well, both. Them together, that's the topic. Earth Roamer technology on a Workhorse 15. I bet I want Earth Roamer to buy a few and make a few. That would be my favorite thing. That's almost like worth a letter, or like an email that's a video. Go, hey, I'm Drew Clark. Look at this cool idea. Won't you please make a few? I can't afford it, but I bet someone would.
Yeah,
And they'll go, wow.
they'd probably respond. Like, yeah, we're working on it
Yeah.
now.
See, but that
Now that you let us know, we're
what would
working on
that?
it.
I'd love if they made that cost like $100,000. If they could somehow like get it down to the bare bones for $100,000, they won't though. It's weird because usually you like the technology that keeps getting cheaper, like with SpaceX, that keeps getting cheaper.
Yeah,
But in Earth Roamer, I find every year the price goes up. So it's like
it seemed. I feel like they're adding features or upping the like materials that they're using.
yes, and I like the quest of economy in there too.
Yes.
So it's like maybe I'm like, oh, I sense some sort of gluttony or something going on because it isn't getting cheaper every year or something.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just like I have like economism.
It's like the drive to improve the product drives the price up rather than making a solid product more efficient, you know.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Because you could easily
demanding
make
both.
like a autonomous personal drone taxi or whatever transport. What is it called? Autonomous
personal drone transport.
Yeah, autonomous personal drone transport. You could probably make that for like $10,000.
No, it would be more.
You could like 3D print it, you know, outsource it, open source it, build a community that wants to work on it, so that in terms of actual outlay costs, you're not spending that much.
Okay, so you get a group of people who want it. You all join in a bulk buy of base prices and share an expensive 3D printer or something.
Yeah, and you sort of you spend most of the time on the design process.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of computer software simulations of the materials and stuff.
Do you think you could build one for $10,000? I think you could design it for $10,000.
I think you could build one for $10,000.
I don't think so.
Carry one person, just a drone able to carry one person.
When I think about
Like 3D printed, you know, parts as much as possible.
magnetic motors, brushless electric motors, I think about their horsepower and their size and cost ratios.
Mm-hmm.
Previous technology, brushed motors, they obviously still are good and exist and could function in a cheaper sense, maybe in some capacity, but probably not. Because you basically need a motor that there's 4 of them. Something weighs like 1.5 tons. They would each need to be able to lift, 650 pounds each or something like that, and so that means they have to have a certain amount of horsepower. And I think those motors are still they still cost like $50,000 each. You could 3D print the blades, and you could open source like the guidance technology. You'd have to,
Right, like all the software.
but I think the motors are going to be like
It probably already exists,
200 grand
actually.
just to buy the motors, and then the controllers need to be
I guess you do have to.
swifty.
You're hauling like 300 pounds.
It's probably going to be 1.5 tons because you have to has to be.
Well, yeah, right. The payload is 300, but all the equipment.
Yeah, everything's like
Yeah, maybe it's 100 grand then.
That'd be cool.
Motorcycle
if it was 100
sized.
grand, you'd make your money back in the first week.
Yeah.
At Fluber or the Real Lift.
Stork. It'd be like a stork.
It is like Stork. Ooh, Stork's a good name.
Picks you up, drops you off.
Yeah.
It would have to be
Ooh.
spelled differently too. It'd be like STORCKYS.
Wait. Stork, spelled STRYK.
Strick.
STY.
Pronounced stork.
Stork. Oh, STURK.
Stork.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Stork.
Is it the stork?
The stork, yeah, comes, picks you up, 10-mile range, probably less, probably 5
more.
miles.
Probably more. I think for this
10
price,
miles though would get you to San Francisco.
I think it could do 30 miles. I think Generation 1 could do 30 miles because of the efficiency of
You're in
going
the
in a
air
straight
for
line.
like
20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
Maybe. But it's not going to take you to San Luis Obispo. Not the first model. We need the
Yeah.
batteries to get smaller.
Just brings you to the top of the the Salesforce building.
Mm-hmm. There would be a chain of those every day
Oh, yeah.
coming from every direction, landing on the Salesforce building.
Yep.
All these executives in suits, like, oh, I just flew here from Marin in my house. I just stood outside. The
Yeah.
thing got me, and I
Still
came here in a
like
straight
just
line.
still putting his tie on, and the thing picks him up.
Little
The
shave,
harness.
he's like putting out a doobie because it's the future,
Right. Taking a microdose of acid, putting
Mhm.
out a doobie,
Mhm.
shaving in the air, because there's like
with
a
an electric razor.
there's like a fairing that protects you from the wind.
He's also vlogging.
Right.
in his drone.
Right, because there's GoPros in the thing,
Mhm.
and you can like tap into it and be streaming from it.
Stream. Here we go. I'm going from here to here. A moment for this. Okay, I just made 5,000 likes. Okay, that's 300. I just imagine some of those people's lives is just like they're making money every few hours, and
Yeah.
in the realms of
Constant
thousands
stream.
of dollars. It's just like, oh my gosh, seems crazy.
You got to make it cool to give that money back.
Or make it cool to use the money for obviously good things.
Yeah.
I think like
The well-being
If you
of
want to talk about rights,
society.
I think food is a right. Clean food is a right.
Yeah, uncontaminated food.
Clean food that isn't been tortured or poisoned. Like
Yeah.
clean food, I think is a right.
That's interesting. Rights like the right to the pursuit of happiness, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there should be a right to water,
right. Clean water.
right to shelter. But then it starts getting very
I'm not
socialist.
sure about shelter. I don't know if I would go shelter.
Starts getting very
I think I would
socialist.
start with food and water. I don't know about shelter yet. That we'd have to have way more resources for that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think there could be like we could open up the way we think about camping, because the way it works now is very restrictive. It's like trying to restrict. We could rethink camping a little bit, like where the camp host is like randomly selected by like one of the campers or something. So if you go there, you know you might be camp host, and that means you're responsible.
Oh, right.
Like something about you have to responsibilize it,
That's interesting.
and then people can stay longer. Something.
If you had land, you could open up your own way of doing
We
that.
could open up. There's
some
rules
kind of
for that
self-maintaining camping
now.
zone.
They have that. We for Hip Camp, that's what's going on, and I've tried to use
Right.
it. This recent time, I booked a site. We paid the gentleman, and the government came in and said, "No, your land is wrong for this. We just found out you have to cancel everything and close down your Hip Camp. You're zoned incorrectly."
Zoning incorrectly. Was it a residential?
He has 40 acres out on Lake Berryessa, touching the lake, with there's not near anything. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's no schools or.
It's just the government coming in saying
And
you can't do
yeah,
this.
we had. It's like the government was like, "Hey, you can't do that," and I was like, "But it's a mutually nourishing community building engagement where both parties were pleased." Like,
Right. No one's
there
losing.
wasn't I was going to make it cleaner than when I left, and we were going to give the man some sustenance in the form of monetary funds, and he was going to let us use his space, and
No one's being harmed.
nothing. It would have been great.
Yeah, that's
So we need to loosen that kind of stuff up, I think.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like the whole, I don't know, there's like, I feel like there's room for there to be rules. Like when I think about the government creating regulation, like on a ride today, we're by this huge electric tower thing, and there's a big chain link fence. On the sign it says you have to stay 3 feet away from the antenna because it'll fuck with you. It's got bad vibes, bro. That's what it said
Mhm.
right on it. And the fence is 9 feet away from where the antenna is, so you can't even get 3 feet to it. And there's like
Right.
12-foot fence, chain. I mean, there's barbed wire. Like, don't fucking come in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so regulation there makes sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
because
In the interest of the public safety,
because kids would be climbing it if there wasn't the fence and the sign. Kids
kids
climbing
would
it.
just be climbing it. Yeah.
So it's bad vibes for your brain, and it's officially been measured that that's the case. So don't do it.
Yeah.
And so I get that's why they put it way up there. I get that's why there's regulation. You can't just put that in some neighborhood and be like, "Hey, okay, guys, so
Right.
like
Right.
we're just gonna put this one here because like they're gonna pay me every month. It's gonna be right."
Yeah.
you know?
Just industrial.
Yeah,
Right
Somebody's
next to your house,
backyard,
yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, I'll pay you $12,000 a month every month for the next."
Well, that makes
50
sense.
years.
But if you have 40 acres that abuts a lake and there's nothing around, who are you harming? You know?
right, exactly. So I'm illustrating that I found that regulation is important, but then it so works the wrong way for so many other things. Like, for example,
Yes.
me trying to open a brewery, there was so much crazy red tape. It was just unfollowable. And I had a little nest egg from being a flight attendant, and I had an investor to match what I had. So, and my parents put in a little, totaling, we had like $200K. And we had this money ready to put down on a lease and equipment to open a brewery. We looked at so many spaces and we worked super hard. And a lot of what the trouble was is we spent so much time trying to ask for permission before we would make an offer on a space. Like we did that over and over and over and over.
So that you're just waiting. So the window of opportunity is gone because you're waiting for permission.
Someone else with more money comes in. They go, I'll figure it out later. Here's the cash. And they start paying rent. And then they work out how to make it legal with what they're doing. So it's like, the pay to play is, there's levels. And it gets really steep. And so really, the money that was required to do the business we were thinking about doing was probably more like $500,000. Would have probably seemingly been more appropriate. But it's like you're throwing huge capital waiting for this thing. Like the closest I got,
right,
downtown Berkeley, or not downtown, it was a university in San Pablo next to Lane Splitter. There's that. Lane Splitter owns the building 2 doors over. It has floor drains. It used to be a brewery. It's a good size, real high ceilings, good
to the
spot
right
for a stage. To the right
of Lane Splitter.
Mm-hmm. It's still available. It's still, no one's in there.
Is it that eye doctor place?
Maybe it is now. Anyway, it might be next to that.
Next to that, okay.
So we met the guy through this broker, and he knew him, and we talked to them, and he's like, oh yeah, I think it could be cool to have a brewery here, because the Lane Splitter guy owned it. And instead of going, man, this is a great idea, let's go ahead and put down a deposit, and we'll make it work. You can't do that. Instead, you go, cool, I have to talk to all these other people to see if we can do anything. And then you just do that over and over. So we went to downtown Berkeley, and we wait in line. This very astute gentleman, he was like quite serious and quite slow speaking. And you could tell that he had been yelled at a lot. And he's trying to make things clear, to make it easy when he says, fuck your dreams, bitch. So we're like, wait, we get a number and we wait in line.
Damn.
And we have to wait for this old guy to come out. And he's like, he's got the old book. And they're like, oh, Steve, here, we got a BL11. And it's like, oh, okay. And he goes back and gets his fucking book. And it's like, he opens it up and we're like, hey, this building used to be a brewery. We've got the capital. We would like to have a brewery tasting room right here. And Lane Splitter likes the idea. Can we give you the cash today for the permits? And they're like, well, here, let's see. Well, first off, it wasn't zoned incorrectly, but it was like a city planning incorrect, ordinance something about establishments to something else.
Can't have two breweries next to each other.
But there aren't
something.
two breweries. There are no breweries there at all.
Right, because Lane Splitter's not a brewery.
No, there aren't.
Neither is Acme.
Yeah. So that's where there's one missing that would be good.
Beer
to be
per square city block.
That wasn't even it. It was like, you can't have that type of business there. But what you can do is you can go and wait a maximum of 18 months while paying rent.
And you know it's going to be
see
18 months.
You could get a vote to get people to vote to allow it to change.
Right. You
So
can wait. You can wait 18 months for a maybe.
Yeah. You can pay rent for 18 months for a maybe. And that's where regulation is like, okay, guys, like beer. How many beer sicknesses besides over drinking do you hear about? I mean, like if you have a normal amount of beer, how many times has it like gone bad and made you food
Well, it's
sick?
drunk driving. I mean, it's that.
That's not what I mean. I mean, like,
You're talking
when
about-
have you gotten food poisoning from a beer?
Right.
You fucking don't, because it goes the other way. If you take duck piss and put some cracked sprouted grain in it in the sun, and then like it gets sunnier, yeast falls in, it'll literally clean the water out and make it drinkable. That's the way it's like.
Right.
So all the like, oh well, is this a safe? I mean, are you sure? Do you have if you measured it? It's like dude,
It
it's
seems
the
a
other
little
way.
late for them to be worrying about that. I mean,
Yeah,
beer's been around
it
for
was
a while.
the only food for certain periods for like huge groups of people.
Yeah.
The only food.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, this is what like these mushrooms are a huge part of our life, and that's what it is. It's mushrooms, and it's depends on how you make the beer, but you can make it super low alcohol, very high protein, and like it's more like a nutrition shake. It wouldn't taste that good.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's like the crazy
the whole
regulation
regulation
there is
thing.
like we're off. Somebody missed a step there. So that's like I think my rant about that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think regulation has its place, but it's a slippery slope because you could have everything regulated
Well, okay,
or nothing regulated.
What do you want to be unregulated? What's something you would like for that to happen? For?
I don't like. I mean, drug use,
Go drugs.
decriminalized and deregulated. I guess drone usage should be regulated. I don't know. I could see it just getting way out of hand. So it makes sense that traffic is regulated to an extent, air traffic, because there's just so many lives and so many
It
millions
makes
of
sense
dollars
to
at
have it be
stake.
organized over like an overseer. Yeah, is that what you're saying? Like air traffic
Yeah,
control.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Some financial things could probably be unregulated.
Like what?
Well, like
That's-
Bitcoin, they want to regulate that shit. They're going to get involved in regulating crypto. They want to. But I don't see how you can.
That sounds like a bad idea.
What about like drugs, food? Like pharmaceuticals?
Regulation of pharmaceuticals, I think, makes some sense, but the way we're doing it seems bad. But I think that in the war on drugs, I think the war's over and drugs won. And I think we need to concede a few things and just by basically going, okay, here's the open info on how you die if you do it. Here's the open info on how you have an okay time if you do it. Here's the open info to have it be not enough to do anything. Like all the numbers, just make it all open and make everything legal and go, it's your body. See you later. Too bad. So I think that would be a good thing to unregulate. But like, like people are talking about they want to put license plates on bicycles. And you
Or,
could like
or
lose your
explicit
bike
lyrics
license.
stickers?
On bicycles?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, explicit lyrics labels on CDs, music.
Oh, you don't like
Remember that was a big thing?
It
That was a big issue.
Well, I was like, that's fine, I guess. I mean,
It's kind of like R-rated,
it's like it's not my culture to worry about that so much, but I see how other cultures could.
and I can see how it is. I mean, no, it's one of those things that it's never going to be a perfect system, but I could see the benefits of having it. Like having R-rated, PG, PG-13,
X,
X,
double X, triple H.
NC-17. I could see the value in that. And that's not so much regulation, but it's like classification.
Some kind of oversight.
It's classification. It's just coming down from. It's just arbitrary rules coming down from Hollywood.
Yeah, which I don't agree with. I think like
So we might be seeing. Sorry, go ahead.
Portugal decriminalized all drugs. Guess what? It's going pretty well. At first, there's some extra usage, and then it died down, and now there's like half of the deaths from overdoses is stopped or something like that.
Right, crime probably goes down because
Huge.
it's not even an issue anymore.
The fact that half the people stop dying from overdoses from making it legal is like pretty interesting.
I bet you that I don't know, but that probably happened to prohibition too. Once it was illegal, there's probably way more deaths and bad booze and weird shit going on.
You basically like anything that people actually use, you're going to turn it into a crime if you say they can't use it. It doesn't matter if you think it's good or bad. That's just the recipe for crime.
Yeah.
was like, say, hey, well, if you use this thing, then we might have to shoot you or, something good.
Humans are curious.
Mm-hmm.
Can't help themselves. Oh, you don't want me to do it? I got to find out what that's all about.
Yep, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's also like regulation and bailing out the airlines.
Yeah,
It's
that was
just
some baloney.
Let it fail.
Southwest got money even though they weren't in the hole.
Yeah, such bullshit.
But it was fair because all the other companies got money too. And we did get some of that money as flight attendants. Like, it came in a check, sort of.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I was a recipient of some of that. So you could blame me, I guess, or you could ask me for
No,
some
it's just-
sort of reparations.
It's just like
That's weird.
you got to let the free market do its thing. And if a business, goes under, it should just go under. Let it be replaced by something that'll be better.
Yeah.
I mean, look at JetBlue. They're doing it right? They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty recent.
I guess. I don't think I've ever flown them. I know I've heard a lot about them.
It's kind of like, it's fine.
Is it torturous?
It's not horrible.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Southwest can be pretty torturous.
Yeah, like United, just horror story after horror story. But can't let them go out of business for some reason. Not sure why. Cut the dead weight.
Well, it's because it's all one team. The big business and big government is one big team. And we see it play out, and they act like it's cat and mouse, but it's the same.
There's a lot of crossover.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next topic?
Okay, well, let's see here.
Talked about the workhorse. Talked some regulations.
I'm trying to link here. Strange.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to call in. Or if you have any answers, feel free to call in. When in doubt, be weird.
Real fresh. Coming at you fresh, trying to keep it real. But I can't keep my hands still. I got this wiggle on with the smoke gone wrong. What's going wrong? Oh shit. I speak the truth to you.
It's real fresh.
I speak the truth to you. Kinda shaky in my chest, can't do the rest. I'm not depressed, I just can't distress the magnitude of which I can impress. Free flow is the way to go. Never show that you don't know when you gotta flow for show. It actually was a free flow. That was a flow, ladies and gentlemen. That sounded
Good
right.
flow. Good flow. Good flow. Good flow.
Thanks, guys. Yeah,
Oop.
that was one of my topics.
Fresh flow.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you have another topic, or was that was it? That was fresh
Give me
flow?
a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. Could you? Yeah.
No worries. No worries.
Final Corp. 50 years of experience. 50,000 flavors of mayonnaise. No compromises. No refunds. No integrity. Final Corp. It will be fined. Please help us slide mayonnaise onto food.
Final Corp is a sponsor of the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. 50,000 years of experience, 50 trillion flavors of mayonnaise.
How many galaxies are we in now?
They are in every single galaxy except one, and that is the secret.
Oh. So how? That's like billions of galaxies then.
Billions of galaxies.
Or millions.
Stretching millions and billions of light years. You can franchise your own store of Final Corp mayonnaise today. Thank you, Final Corp.
It'll be fine.
It will indeed.
Okay. Ready?
Ready?
So, yeah, I guess the Seven Stringers guys stopped showing up,
Okay.
and they stopped emailing, and they stopped calling.
After they said, we've been waiting for a drummer like you all our lives.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that
That
feels
sucks.
kind of weird, I guess. You know, I'm quick to throw
Probably
another
not about
ad
you.
out there.
It's probably not about
Mhm.
you.
I actually think it's not about me.
It's probably about them.
Yeah. I think it's about them being busy and being parents and having to work.
Oh, I didn't know they were parents.
Mhm.
And they're like not close by either, right?
No, they're pretty far.
Yeah. Huh.
So I don't really take it personally. I'm just like, I'm going to run a new ad.
Yeah.
But I might use this song to run the ad in.
Oh, I see one of theirs.
Well, it's one we kind of made.
Cool.
We kind of got a couple. So
hear
we
it.
may have heard this before, but this is sort of like
Let's do it.
kind of I guess a sending off. I mean, I don't feel like we're a band anymore, you know.